money. Money me. Money now. Me a money needing a lot now.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Handsmaid Tale. I am your host, Susan B. Anthony or whatever. And today we
Beef and beer and Jesus.
have a new episode, brother. And let's see. I didn't record last week, so I'm not going to record next week. Just, to keep my own stuff on track. Let's see. Today, though, actually, the YouTube went up yesterday, and the audio went up today. I released one of my probably worst episodes, I think, that I've ever done. And that's just objectively true, and it's fine because when you do an episode a week, sometimes, there's going to be a worse one and a best one, and some in the middle, and some on the outer edges. It's just what happens. You know what I mean? If you write 100 songs, one of them is going to be the worst one. So, it's not because you hate it or because you dislike it or because you're looking for compliments, because you're not, I'm not. It just is the worst episode. My audio is messed up. I figured out my storage was way too full. And the audio was, it didn't want to record because of that correctly. So, it sounded weird. And I couldn't figure it out. But I spent a lot of time transferring stuff to my whatever. Anyways, yeah, it was the worst episode. I almost didn't put it out. I almost discarded an entire episode for the first time, but I chose not to because I didn't want to not have an episode for 2 weeks potentially. So I put it out and it's out. So go check it out. I think it's 24 minutes and it's really bad. So I just get mad. That's it. That's all I do. I just get mad at, and I was in a bad mood to begin with. So the audio not recording really, man, upset me. So, check that out, brother. Let's see. Is there any more housekeeping? Oh, I'm talking to someone who I want to have on, but, we're getting the details sorted out. By details, I mean scheduling. Scheduling's the hardest part of podcasting. So, we're figuring that out because we're on very different, slightly different schedules. I want to say the person's name, but I feel like that's always been bad luck in the past, so I'm not going to. So that's coming up. I'm starting to sweat already, so that's cool. I ate about 2.5 milligrams of THC earlier. That's pretty cool. I drank a green tea. That's also cool. And I'm feeling that green tea, actually. The past 2 weeks, I would work out and then just podcast, just running on water, and wasn't enough. Turns out you can't work out and then podcast if you're me. I guess a musical update, bro. I'm about to be able to do music again. So I'm about to be doing some music again, dude. Getting on my production game and fucking practicing guitar again. Because most of my fingers are good. So I can play guitar again. Sometimes my entire left hand goes numb. Don't know what that's about. But I do have a blood panel scheduled. And I've seen a primary physician. She set up the blood panel. We're going to go from there, see if I'm diabetic. Blah, 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 blah. I want to do an 808 version of the podcast intro song, which, by the way, I've been trying to not curse in the first 10 minutes, and I realize that my intro song is just full of the word fuck. So it's cursing in the first minute, really, every single episode. So shout out to YouTube, shout out to my intro song, and shout out to the algorithm, and shout out to the whatever AI that analyzes all videos that go into YouTube. If that's even a thing, I don't know. Also shout out to the 9 views, 5 listens weekly. I'm still proud of you guys. Still proud of you guys. I will never not ever proud of you guys. So figure that out, dude.
And I ain't playing, nigga.
What else do we got, dude? There's some stuff I really want to talk about, but there's also some stuff that I just want to breeze by. So let me first ask this question, y'all, because I've been asking my coworkers this, and nobody fucking agrees with me. Everybody goes, no. But I'm wondering, for real, dude, do you think Tarzan was a genius? Or, no, excuse me. Take that back. Do you think Tarzan thought he was a genius until he got around other humans? Because here's the thing. If I'm in a room and everybody's dumb, or if I'm in a certain neighborhood, if you know what I mean, and everyone's dumb, it makes me feel like I'm smart as hell, dude. It makes me feel like I am fucking Isaac Newton in this motherfucker, even though I'm not good at math. And y'all can probably relate to that. Being in a room with dumb people. When you're the smartest person in the room, you feel smarter than you are. You might be the smartest in that room, but the bar for that room is not very high. So I'm wondering, did Tarzan just think he was like like super genius? Because when he saw humans, the guy was like a scientist, right? And his daughter, is that what it was? The guy did mathematical science. Jane's father. Anyways, regardless if he was a scientist or just like a guy that likes to camp, he was for sure smarter than Tarzan. And the gorillas. Anyways, that's fucking dumb, dude. That is dumb. Easter came and went. This episode's going to come out, I think, a month after Easter even happened. Easter came and went, and I'll say this. I didn't eat a piece of candy, dude. Because my hands have been so fucked up, I've been trying to lay off sweets a little bit. At least hardcore sweets like Snickers and stuff and Reese's. So, didn't eat any candy. And, dude, if I'm being honest, man, Easter candy ain't even great. Easter candy is the most mediocre candy because the color palettes, Easter color palettes are kind of cool for dressing up, like a shirt and socks that match. But for your candy, it's not great colors. Easter colors in the form of candy looks like the candy is really old. You know what I mean? And it probably is old because they probably recycle seasonal candy. If I had to guess, if I was Hershey's, that's what I would do. I mean, if I was Hershey's and I knew that I have already committed, acts that are much more morally, outstandingly just wrong, then recycling candy for years wouldn't be an issue for me. Once your soul is gone, it's gone, right? You can't get your soul back. You can have a soul, really make some mistakes, ask the good Lord for forgiveness, and then you're good again, maybe. But once that soul's gone, you can't get it back, dude. And I don't know that Hershey's hasn't sold their soul. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed your Easter. That's what I'm trying to say, is I hope y'all enjoyed your Easter. I'm not trying to say that Hershey fucking probably haven't treated people well. That's not what I'm trying to talk about. I'm trying to talk about, I hope you enjoyed your Easter and you ate a ham and you ate a deviled egg and you ate a whatever, dude. A candy. You had some candy of your own, which, by the way, I hope y'all are still enjoying candy. And I want you to put in the comments your favorite candy and why it's your favorite candy and how long it's been your favorite candy and why it should be other people's favorite candy. Because that's the thing too, is I think we should all force our opinions on the other people at all times. I used to hate it because that's what our society is now, right? You get on Facebook or TikTok and it's just other people elevating their opinion like it deserves to be elevated. And I hated it for a while. But then I remembered that old saying that they say in movies, when in Rome. So, when in Rome, just take your opinions and squish them into a little ball, in the tightest ball you can in your fist, and just mash it down people's throats. Just mash it down people's throats. You remember in the NBA when Vince Carter did a slam dunk and he put his arm into the rim and he kind of hung for a minute just on his elbow crease? That's what I want you to do with your opinions onto other people that's not you. I want you to fucking Vince Carter. You got to jump, right? To dunk, you got to jump. Vince Carter jump and just fucking dunk it into their fucking mouth, dude. Get all the way in there so that their opinions become your opinions. No, I said that wrong. Your opinions become their opinions. You slam it in. You hold it there for a while. You kind of look at the crowd. And then you let go. And then when your opinion goes down their throat into their chest cavity, it'll plant and then it'll grow. And then your thoughts and opinions will be theirs. That's what I want you to do to people if you listen to this podcast. And that's what I want you to do in the comments as well. I forgot that's what I was talking about. That's what I want you to do in the comments with the candy that you like, is fucking just shove. If you see another comment that's not the candy that you like, I want you to attack that person. Verbally, not physically. I have to say that. My lawyer said I only have one more strike, so I have to be very clear with how I say things. What the fuck am I talking about? Favorite candy, Easter. Easter came and went. Easter's not my favorite. Although, you know, I love the Lord, but Easter's just not my favorite. What is my favorite? I guess it's Christmas. Yeah, I guess it's Christmas. That's my favorite. Shout out Christmas. Still it's one of the Lord's other days. The Lord gets Easter, Christmas, and every Sunday. Let's see, dude. Where are we at? Oh, we're doing good, baby. We're doing good. Oh. No, that's dumb. I don't need to talk about that. There's a bullet point in my notebook that says buying poor kids shoes videos. Because the other day I was sitting on the toilet for business reasons, not for recreational reasons. Every time I sit on a toilet, it's for business. I don't ever sit there for fun. So I was on the toilet the other day doing business, and I was on TikTok, as one does. I was on TikTok and I saw a video of this teacher who bought this young boy some shoes because his family couldn't afford nice shoes, and he was bullied because his shoes were whack. And I saw the shoes. They were whack. They were lame. Not saying I support bullying, because I don't. Bullying, I'll say this about bullying. Bullying is fun, but it's not funny. Remember that. And tell that to your kids. Unless you're in my comments. I still want you to shove your opinions down other people's throats.
We them Arby's boys! Slam!
This teacher bought this young boy a pair of shoes, and she called him into her classroom, and she gave him the shoes, and he fucking cried. And when he cried, dude, I cried. I almost sobbed. And there's nothing. Well, there's almost nothing more sad than being a grown man. 31. I'm 31. Y'all remember. Being a grown man and sobbing, crying while you're sitting on a toilet doing business. There's almost nothing more sad. There's like 4 things that are more sad than that. And those 4 things are like way more sad than that. Like the curve between crying while doing business on a toilet and being a grown man and like whatever else. I don't even want to name the 4 other things because I don't think you guys can even handle those fucking 4 things. So, and then that happened to me and I thought, oh, I have to tell all 9 viewers and 5 listeners about this fucking thing that I'm talking about.
And I ain't playing, nigga.
You know what I mean? So, and I wrote that down in my notebook and I didn't even want to feel like talking about it, but I did. I don't mark bullet points out. I'm marking that one out just so I know in my heart and my soul and my brain that I should never talk about that again. You know what? The Tarzan thing too, that can go. Never, if I can just never even think about that again and just reserve the bandwidth in my brain, that would probably be good for me. So, I have not been. Well, I didn't do an episode. I didn't record last week, so obviously I didn't fucking talk about the Last of Us episode. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about season 2, episode 2. Huge. I'm telling you right now. Huge, fat, thick, fucking fat spoilers right now. So, if you have not watched season 2 of The Last of Us, fucking turn it off because I would hate to ruin it for you, even though I'm about to. It could be 2 minutes or 8 minutes. I don't know. So, with that being said, fucking figure it out. I said it. Season 2, Joel dies. Joel doesn't just die. Joel gets murdered, dude. And like the type of murdered that's like it's almost above murder. There's a type of murder. Once a murder is so savage, it almost transcends the word murder. Abby, she almost crucified Joel. Shout out to the Lord and shout out to Easter. And I'm not comparing Joel to the good Lord. I would never do that. I would never do that, dude. If you think I would do that, you got me fucked up. I would never do that. But what I am saying is Abby fucked him up bad. She shot his knee with a shotgun, dude. Imagine, think about the times you bumped your knee and you went, fuck, ow, like that. And then think of that times probably, this is not an exaggeration. This is not a kid. Think about that pain times 2,000-ish. Because a shotgun, does anything hit harder than a shotgun? And this is for my math freaks that are, if one of the 9 is a math freak, can you fucking calculate the hypotenuse of how hard a shotgun shoots? Because it's probably 2,000 times harder than bumping your knee on a table at dinner time. And that's what Abby did to Joel. She blasted his knee. And that was just the appetizer, baby. That was just getting warmed up and getting loose. She was just getting loose, dude. That was when she started really just feeling herself because it was cold outside that day. It was a cold, snowy, literally a blizzard. And the way Abby warms herself up is blasting the knee of her father's murderer with a shotgun. And then she does a little speech or whatever. She gives a little speech. She cried, I cried, Joel cried. And then she beats his knee with a golf club. Beats the fuck out of it, dude. Hard. And one of my favorite shots in the episode, I didn't notice this until I watched it for the second time. And it's so funny to me because it didn't happen in the game, and it's just so, it's not funny, but it's funny to me because I'm dark and twisted. And I should probably see a therapist.
I go post on this motherfucker.
There's a shot when Abby's beating the fuck out of Joel's shot knee with the golf club where the camera goes over to Mel, who is also part of the WLF, but she is a fucking nurse. But the camera goes over to Mel, and Mel's sitting by herself quietly crying. She's just crying by herself, dude, and it is peak humor to me. But I'm, like I said, I'm probably not healthy. I probably need help. So you might not find that funny, but that is, dude, so funny to me. I can't even handle how funny that shit is, dude.
And I ain't playing, nigga.
Anyways, the scene in the show was different than the game because in the game, Tommy was with Joel. And in the show, Dina was with Joel, which I'm not mad at. I get why they did it. I get why they did it because I'm a huge fan of the battle at Jackson. I'm a huge fan of it. Also, I almost watched that whole episode standing up. And I knew what was going to happen for the most part. I knew the main bullet points. I didn't know Jackson was going to be attacked. I didn't know the little switch ups like trading Tommy with Dina. I didn't know that. But I knew what happened to Joel. But the Jackson thing had me on edge, dude. I couldn't even handle myself, bro. And I ate, I don't know, I had some gummies. So I was high. I was feeling a little vulnerable. I was feeling a little sauce. Is sauced up appropriate? No, because sauced up is drinking, and I don't drink. I was feeling, let's just say, like a silly boy. By silly, I mean kind of paranoid. So I was on edge. I couldn't sit down. I was like on my knees. I was looking, but I didn't want to look. And the battle was absolutely fantastic. I almost dropped the mic. Why do I drop the mic, dude? It makes me so annoyed. The battle with Jackson, I wish was in the game. I wish even that could be a DLC. Like The Last of Us, they came out with this new gaming mode when they remastered Part 2 for the PlayStation 5 because it came out on the PlayStation 4. When they remastered Part 2 for the PS5, they put in a game mode called No Return. Am I thinking of the right thing? I think it's No Return. It's either No Return or something else. But anyways, point being, the battle at Jackson, I wish that could be a separate, like a little game mode that you do. Kind of like how No Return is just like a separate game mode you can do aside from the main story. I wish they do that because that battle looked fantastic. Also, it looked very thrilling and terrifying. So, shout out that episode, dude. Shout out to that episode. I enjoyed it very much. There's also two things I noticed. Actually, one of them was in the first episode. The second was in the second episode. But two things that are just small things in the game that made me so happy when I saw it in the show. One of them, when you're Ellie and Dina and you're in the supermarket and you encounter those infected, there's a part where you have to get a safe open and you don't know the combination. You find a note that says the code to the safe is when our good boy got Employee of the Month. And the good boy was a cute dog. And you go to the wall, you see the employee of the month wall, and it's people, and then a dog. And it's cute, and you do it, you get the month, and you fucking go open the safe. But in the show, they had the fucking employee of the month dog. And that made me so happy. It's such like a nerdy thing. If they wouldn't have had it, I wouldn't have even noticed because it's such a fine detail. But I thought it was very cool. Now, the thing in the second game that they did that I thought was very cool was Abby. Before she fell down the snow hill, there was a part where she slid just on her butt down a snow hill. And in the video game, quite often what they'll do to get you from one stage to another, essentially a checkpoint. What they do to trigger a checkpoint is you'll slide on your butt down a dirt hill or a snow hill or like a watery rock. You'll slide into the next checkpoint. You'll slide into it. And you can't go back up the sliding thing. You're just, once you go down it, you're just in that new stage of the game. And they showed Abby slide down a hill, and it made me happy. She then tried to climb down a hill and slipped and like fell hard and rolled and tumbled. This, what I'm talking about, was just slightly before that. That also made me very happy that they put that in the game. I thought it was very cool. Let's see. Episode 3 came out last night, and the tempo of episode 3 slowed way down. Because essentially the whole episode was grieving and mourning Joel's death. And in the video game, they couldn't really do that because it's an action video game. And how do you play a funeral, or how do you play, walking to a grave? So in the video game, the grieving stage was short, but in the show, they've made an entire episode out of it. And even though I wanted the crazy action and I wanted the suspense and the thrill, I was fine with what the episode was. Now, next episode, I can tell y'all, because Ellie and Dina, spoilers, dude. Ellie and Dina just got into Seattle. And I know what happens in Seattle, dudes. This next episode's going to be fucking nuts, dude. It's going to be nuts. Dogs outside barking. I guess now we address the elephant in the room, dude. And the elephant in the room is those ladies going to space. Which, I'm going to say a lot of stuff that makes me sound like I hate it. I don't hate it. I don't care. But I want to fill up a podcast episode, so I'm going to talk about it. I don't care. But what does annoy me about it is just Katy Perry. I guess, I don't know. It was Katy Perry, a lawyer, I think an influencer lady, and I did it. Dude, this is what annoys me about it. This next part I'm about to say, I didn't even know until I read an article. There's actually 6 ladies, not 5. It was Katy Perry, a lawyer, a journalist, Jeff Bezos' wife, and then these 2 other ladies. One of them is a former NASA rocket scientist, and the other, I don't even remember. It's something very badass. I want to say a biomechanical engineer. I think that's the word. It's bio something. I want to say biomechanical. Something that's fucking very badass and accomplished, though. Something very cool that this lady was. I just can't remember the technical name for her. She was a badass. She's a smart, very smart, educated, smart lady. But Katy Perry's getting all the fucking attention. Now, I will say this. A lot of the things I've seen about Katy Perry going up there has been other people making fun of Katy Perry going up there and just being cringe. She pulled a daisy out, apparently, that represents her daughter or something, which I don't hate. It's fine. But the thing is, like, she kept saying it's not all about me, and she's up there staring into a camera. And the squeal they did, dude, I just feel like they also keep calling them astronauts. And I feel like that's disrespectful to astronauts. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of astronauts, men and women. There's a lot of woman astronauts who have trained hard as hell, boy, who have trained hard to be astronauts. And these ladies, they didn't even pilot anything. They just got into a dick-shaped spaceship. It's not even a spaceship. I don't think they left the Earth's atmosphere. They got into this dick-shaped fucking ship, and they shot up there, and then they fucking whatever, they floated, and they did the video, and then they came back down. And Katy Perry gave a cringe speech, and she kissed the dirt, dude. She said she feels love more better or something. It was just... And listen, I'm sure they interviewed all of them. I'm sure they interviewed all 6 ladies. But the scientist and the engineer, what the fuck, where's their coverage at? I bet they had cool stuff to say about it. Not cringe. Katy Perry saying, "What a wonderful world." I would rather hear a biomechanical engineer say something fucking boring than watch Katy Perry go up, look at the earth, and sing "What a wonderful world." Katy Perry also...
And I ain't playing, nigga.
Katy Perry also said, "I recommend this experience to anyone." Bitch, we are saving money for eggs right now. We're not going into space, you fucking idiot. Also, the fact that the ship was dick-shaped, what that says is, hey, we're letting you ladies go up there. Like, y'all can go, but it's because we're allowing it. We allow it. Also, women don't need help taking up space. I don't think any, especially Americans, period, men or women, need help or recognition or fucking whatever it was. I don't remember. Taking up space, dude. You know what I mean? This is America, goddammit, where what we do is take up space. Hey, I don't know if you remember American history, but all of us are pretty good at taking up space, brother.
Beef and beer and Jesus.
So I hope they figure that out, dude. I hope they double check their math and they figure that the fuck out. God, felt good to get out. I feel better now. Was there anything else about the spaceships? I feel like I thought of something I wanted to say about that, but then forgot it. Hell yeah, it's almost 3. Let's see. Katy Perry being cringe. I think 2 of those ladies kissed the ground. Like kissed the dirt. It wasn't asphalt. It wasn't grass. It was desert dirt. So that's pretty cool. And they trained, but their training was like how to get in and out of the pod, and I think putting their seatbelt on or something. So that's cool. I don't know. It's fine. I just don't think they're astronauts, and I think there's some real astronauts out there. There was a lady stranded on the International Space Station for a long time, and she wasn't having fun up there. She was surviving up there, and she doesn't have a fucking... She's not trending on TikTok. She's not trending. And, you know, say what you will. I think the reason that lady's not being covered is because Elon Musk saved her. And people are mad at Elon right now for some reason. I'm not sure why they're mad at him, but they are. So figure that the fuck out. I think that's why she's not being covered, is because Elon's ass went up there. SpaceX went and rescued her, so it doesn't fit the narrative of some people, so they don't cover it. But Katy Perry, she went up there, she sang, she stared in the camera. Dude, her staring in the camera when the whole earth is behind her is just a very funny image. It's a very funny image. But that's it. This is an episode, and there's not going to be an episode. You know, if you're watching this, then there wasn't an episode last week. And that's that, dude. Let's see. Is there anything? Like this shit. Subscribe. Do it. Do it now, or I don't know what'll happen if you don't. So figure that out. And that's it, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being queer. Stay black. Stay beautiful. Make your bed. Brush your teeth. Have a little green tea. Have a little edible if you like that type of stuff. Don't drink too much. Don't eat too many candies. And tell your mom you love her and get her an Aura frame because moms love Aura frames. That's it, guys. Bye.
Now, if any of you sons of bitches got anything else to say, now's the fucking time! I didn't think so. 今日はこれまでにしましょう。